All right, what up, dudes? Welcome back to the what am I trying to say here? New York Cross Harbor on this live stream Friday night. Man, my camera looks a little overexposed there, doesn't it? Let me fix that. How is everybody doing? Let's see if I could just fix the webcam. I think it's because I got my window open. Whoop, there we go. All right, that looks a little better. All right, so what are we doing? Can you guys hear me okay? It looks like everything's good. Sweet, everybody's doing good. Sorry if my voice is much louder than the music. All right, so tonight for, I don't know, the next hour or so, we are going to test one of these sessions that I created for the Cross Harbor. That's going to be included with the route when it releases. So I need to actually open up a note on my computer. And we're going to just run this, this session that I created. And we'll see how long it takes and if it works. And yeah, I don't know. Spoilers ahead, I guess. So the route is going to include 3 sessions, a free play session, just an intro session, and then a switching session. We're going to test the switching session right now. Oh, can you not even hear the music? I mean, that's fine if you don't. It's supposed to be kind of low. All right, so what I'm looking for is how long this is going to take. I'm looking for any typos in my text and just how it plays out in general. So we'll see how this goes. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns or suggestions or anything like that, I am all ears. All right, so let's see. Good morning. Today you'll be doing some switching around the terminal. Begin by coupling 25 to 21, then head north to the indicated icons. You'll be picking up 2 cuts of empties and returning them to the yard. So let's see. I'm going to try not to cheat here so that I can get a good gauge of how this goes, how long it takes. Let me turn the sound up a little bit. If it's too loud for you guys, let me know. So we'll try my hardest not to derail, but there's no guarantees. So the session started at 8:01 and 6:20 we'll say on my clock here, so. I should have busted out the rail driver, but oh well. So the first order of business in this session is to couple up to this other engine, and then we're going to head up towards the South Brooklyn Railway Yard. And we're going to pick up a couple cuts cars up there. And I'm gonna turn off the commodities so we don't have to see that. We'll see how many people join us. Looks like there's 31 people watching right now, which is cool. You guys are pretty quiet in the chat, though. And I sound kind of weird to myself. I don't know what it is. Let me see. Check. Maybe I'm just hearing too much of myself. But this is like one of the last steps left for the route before I release it, is just to make sure that the sessions work, make sure that everything works properly, and then I can start getting it prepped for release. Let me know if the game sound gets too loud. It's very quiet for me right now, so I'm going to turn it up to like 50%. Yeah, if I hear too much of my own voice in my headphones, like it short circuits me. But if I don't hear it enough, then that also bothers me. There's like a very fine, like volume level that's acceptable for my brain. Probably should have reversed the direction of the locos, like the heading, so that the lights would be correct, but whatever. Oh, and I didn't throw the switch. I thought this switch was already thrown to go down 41st. That's my first mistake. It definitely was. The default should be to go down essentially the main line. So maybe that's something I messed up somewhere when I was working on the route. Did I not throw the switch again? What happened? Or did I just throw the wrong switch? I'm trying to like look at the chat and drive at the same time, which always leads to a problem. What's my next project going to be? I haven't decided yet. I have to finish this one. We've been discussing it on the Discord. And I don't know. I need to get through... I need to finish this project before I can really focus on what I'm going to do next. I can only do one thing at a time. Otherwise, it's too much for my brain. Too much for my ADHD brain. Oh, it was set correctly. Okay, so I'm just not paying attention. Will there be a 2019 build of this? No, you can't backdate routes, so it is a Trains Plus route because it uses HD terrain, and that's where it's gonna stay. So there's no way to go backwards. It should work in Trains... It should work fine in Trains 22, just like the base version of 22. Maybe I should add some more details to the sidewalk through here. I guess that's the other thing I'm looking for, is any other, like, missing details that I should try to work in. Even though this route is already kind of jam-packed full of details, but doesn't hurt to add more, in my opinion. Ah, yes, that is definitely a promo for the Patreon. If you if you'd like to jump in on the discussion about what I should try to maybe do for my next project, you can join the Patreon. We do have a extensive conversation going on over there. Man, going 5 miles an hour is like impossible. I don't really know how you're supposed to do it. It sucks about your, you lost your route, Sly Fox. That stinks. And Golden Spike, you lost your route too, jeez. So let's see, we gotta throw this switch, and that should be good. I don't know, what's the way to do this? You kind of like ride with the brake on, maybe? I've never been good at going like slow speed with cab controls. So we gotta first connect to this cut of cars up here. And the speed limit should go up a little bit in a second. All right, so just riding the throttle up and down is the way to do it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I put a backdrop over here too. I really don't love it. It kind of kills the immersion for me, but on the other side is trees. So I don't know which is more of an immersion killer. The backdrop or, you know, just seeing a bunch of forest in Brooklyn like that. So we'll see how long this takes. I'm hoping maybe an hour, 90 minutes or so. That's about how long the other session took, though this one is a little bit more intensive in terms of your duties. So the Discord link, you can put that in. I'll put the Discord link in right now. If I can remember how to do it. I always forget how to do it. Valid for 1 day. Are we going down the right way? Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this route. Well, I don't know. You know, it's funny. Like I did spend a lot of time on it, but it also feels like it went really quick. But it did take me a year. Like I started this almost exactly a year ago. So I don't know. I guess it was quick and not quick at the same time. The thing is like when I'm really interested in a project, like I'm in. Like I'm all, you know, hyper focused in on it. So. Tends to work to my advantage. I really wish the drone camera was a little better for moving around. Like, I wish it was a little bit more like city skylines, you know, like using the WSAD. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as natural as it should. So we pick up this cut of cars, and then we've got another cut of cars over here we're going to pick up. We're going to bring these back to the yard. And you know what I'm going to do really quick, just for the sake of this stream, is I'm going to change the time of day. I always forget where to do that. Session options. I'm just going to change it to like whatever this is, like 11 a.m. or something like that, just so it's a little bit easier. Like, it might look better on the stream, I think. It's a little brighter, you know? So we got to go down here. Some nice trackside views here. Yeah, that backdrop kills me, but it is what it is, you know? It looks great looking this way. That's a great question. How much will the route be? The engines are going to come with it, yes. The route might be 20 bucks? I'm not sure. I'm thinking probably 20. But I'll determine that pretty soon. It's probably going to be 20 bucks. Now I'm like linked to the... I hate that. Lost my trackside street view. So, and I've got traffic stoppers all set up through here, so that all should work out pretty good. Hopefully. Yeah, I am doing this in N-scale as well. That's why I'm like so, I guess, well versed in the route. I also used to live in this area, so, and work in this area. Did we get a hook? I don't think I connected, did I? Stop just short. There we go. And scale train boy. Yeah, man, you gotta get on it. What's going on? WIT simulations, WIT. I never know if I should say WIT simulations or WIT. Let's try to get up into the air a little bit here. There we go. Whoop. Why are we falling? What is happening? That was weird. So now we gotta bring this cut back to the yard. Yeah, I mean, when I look at this route, I'm like, I think to myself, there is nothing in the game that's like this. So, this is truly a one-of-a-kind right now. I can't think of another map that is anywhere near what this map is going to give you guys, as far as just, I don't know, realism. I don't know. I'm proud of it. I think it looks great. So that's just me being happy for what I made. That's all. Let's see. Look at it. Chat. What's going on, Overly? Catch you later, Tim. Have a nice night. Nice weekend. Yeah, I'll excuse me, I'm drinking seltzer. I'll get some more videos for the N-Scale stuff going pretty soon too. It's tough to juggle multiple projects. Yeah, we'll go down some of the side streets in a minute. I gotta get this back to the yard without crashing. I mean, there's a lot of the side streets don't have detail. I'm not gonna say that there's like a lot of detail on some of those side streets and stuff. Some of them do have a lot of detail, but some of them are just parked cars. Like you come down to 4th Avenue, it's just some parked cars like in the main areas where you're gonna see it. I didn't want to overload the route with too much for my own time, but also for my own game performance too. You know, like some of the back areas do have detail, but I kind of just spent my focus on areas that I thought that people would see more frequently. So, you know, it's not, chances are you're not going to go down one of these roads necessarily, except maybe to check out some of the storefronts and building fronts and stuff like that. But, you know, any of the streets that are near the tracks, like there's a lot of detail, you know, up in here near the industries and that sort of thing. Actually, I've been making some buildings as well. I'm sorry, not buildings, signs for some of the industries here to help identify what they are, as well as just adding a little bit more immersion to the route. You know, a little signage here, you know, stuff like that. So hopefully that helps sort of ground the route in reality a little bit more. Well, the actual Cross Harbor ran oh, you said SW1. Yeah, I saw S1. They ran S1s, and these are S2s. We don't have any S1s, but yeah, in SW1 they didn't run any SW1s. They had S1s. They had 44 tonners. Well, that would have been the New York dock. All right, let's see. Before I lose focus, switch the track. Yeah, so I spent probably way too much time looking at Google Earth and actually trying to get the right buildings in the right spot on the side streets. So for example, like if you go on Google Earth, or if you're in the route and you go, you know, over to this area here and you see, you know, some brownstones here and then some storefronts over here, that will be like that in real life. Or like these big rows of housing. And then, you know, I tried to keep, like what I said is like the silhouette as accurate as possible so that it matches pretty closely. I spent way too much time. I literally went street by street. So a lot of this stuff is copy and pasted, but it's been rearranged in a way that it will look like the real thing as accurately as possible. Like if you had a house here, you'd probably be able to find it. So the Cross Harbor had 2 RS3s that they inherited from the New York dock as well, but they didn't run them because they were derailing too much in the yard. I don't know what my next trains project is going to be, Chris. I was saying that earlier. I don't know. I haven't decided. I got to finish this one before I can begin to discuss what the next one is. Or will be. Oh, my camera's looking a little underexposed now. Let me fix that. Maybe I put my light on. That might help. So yeah, the Cross Harbor, they had, like in the 1980s, they were operating 3 S1s and 2 NW2s. Okay, next you'll perform a few pickups and setouts. First, pull the empties from Vesuvio Foods and spot the 2 loads. Man, my foot is really itchy suddenly. Then pull the empties from Gesco Manufacturing and spot those 2 loads. Once you're done, couple all the empties to the empties that you left on track 2. Okay. The route is not released yet. Now, this is a beta test, let's call it, for this session. Once I'm good with this session, once I'm feeling good about it, then I can start thinking about the next steps, which are going to be getting everything packaged up and, I don't know, hopefully have it out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, maybe by June. June is a couple weeks away, right? So, or like a week away. So, that'd be nice. Yeah, longer wheelbases did not work here. So, a lot of the turnouts here were actually number 4 turnouts. So, if you're familiar with like model railroading, then the number denotes, I don't know, what, the length of the frog or something like that. The smaller the number, the sharper the turn. So all of these turnouts they were all number 4s. So you had to have a lot of these locos with narrow wheelbases, which is why the New York dock used 44 tonners and, 55 tonners or whatever. And the RS3s just did not work at all. But a lot of this, I guess, was originally built as like interurban line. It was all electrified and stuff like that. So it was working on narrower wheelbases right from the start. I see the chat is popping off, but I gotta I don't want to crash into this thing, derail it. There we go. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Who runs the Cross Harbor now? It is New York, New Jersey Rail. They're still operating, but they do not operate in this yard at Bush Terminal anymore. Poughkeepsie Hospital branch. I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty's there, man. Way ahead of you. All right, so we got to pull these and pull in these 3. Oh, wait. And oh, yeah, and then we're going to deliver these 2. I hope these directions are clear to people. I don't know. They're clear for my brain, but it's also like I made it, so it makes sense to me. I don't know if it's going to make sense to players when they play it. So we'll see. I'm sure you guys will let me know. The sessions are really just meant to get you guys started and familiar with how the route functions, so that way you can run it yourself, set up your own sessions. I don't want to like hold anybody's hand through how to run this thing, but it's good to get you acquainted with it first, and let you set up your own stuff. TRC, such a pain. Oh, okay, yeah, and scale. Yeah, I gotcha. So I might be vaguely familiar with that. I mean, I grew up in upstate New York. I grew up in Kingston, so I'm familiar with Poughkeepsie and that whole area you're talking about, so. That makes sense. Nope, not clear. Redo it, yeah. The thing is like, I know how my brain thinks and how it takes instructions and how, like, I can sort of understand how to do things in this game. I don't know if everybody's, you know, brain works the same way as mine does. In fact, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. You guys, everybody's got their own way of thinking of things, so. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. What's going on, Willies? I like the drone camera because you can kind of get low to the ground and then you're not, like, looking down. Like, you can actually look up. Yeah, ADHD brains are on a whole nother level. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, a little surprise live stream. I was getting a little antsy. I was kind of torn between doing this live stream today or Sunday. Like, I'm going into the city tomorrow, so I can't do it tomorrow. But I was like, you know, let me just get it done today because it was sort of bothering me. I wanted to try to get this session tested so then I can get it out to some of you other guys to take a look at over the weekend. Yeah, I don't necessarily want it to track on the train because it's gonna move with it. It like gets stuck to it, and then it'll do it here. Watch when I go to switch this track. Yeah, so like I don't want to be moving with it necessarily. All right, so hopefully this is clear that the next move here is to pick up the empties here. So we're gonna pick those up. Yeah, trains is more of a sandbox. So honestly, I spend 99% of my time building. It's very infrequent that I sit down and run anything at all. I really enjoy building, but you know, for those people who want to operate more, you can, you know, buy a route or download a route for free, and you can operate on it. But not every route comes with operating sessions. You might have to kind of create your own, just like you would on a model railroad. You know, so for example, like my Pennsylvania and Berwind route, I released without any sessions, so you kind of have to set up. You know, I gave the paperwork and explained how things are supposed to move and where they go and that sort of thing, but it's up to the player to place the cars initially and figure out, you know, how they want to operate it, just like you would on like a, you know, N scale or HO scale layout. Yeah, hit the like button. Smash that like button even. What did all the other YouTubers say? What is it? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to any of that. It's so annoying. I can't stand it. Yeah, so the game, so right now we're in the driver part of the game. I could show you what Surveyor looks like in a little bit. But yeah, then you could switch between driver mode, which is what we're in, and Surveyor mode seamlessly, and then you can manipulate everything here. You know, any of the terrain, move the tracks, move the trains, add trains, delete trains, move, you know, move any of the buildings around. Just watch some of my videos, you'll see. Sessions are a real pain to do. It actually took me a little bit to get these done. I think the biggest pain with session building is doing what I'm doing now, is testing it. Because, like, as you're building it, you can't really see how it's going to work until you run it. And then you have to run it, like, in real time, like what we're doing right now. And that just takes so long. We've already been doing this for... I've been streaming for a little bit, for 40 minutes, but we've been running this session for 30 minutes, and we're... you know, halfway through it. So I think it's 2 loads. It's these last 2 that we got to spot here. All right, so the last part of this is to take all of these empties that we just pulled, and we're gonna put them, connect them onto this cut of cars of the first set of empties that we pulled. So the way that this yard works, it's a bit of a switch puzzle. I mean, I don't know exactly how it worked in reality, but I can tell you how I use it based on some of the knowledge that I have. But essentially, I believe that this track here, the track 2 is what I refer to it as, was used as a runner track. And this track 1 here that goes up to all the industries was also used as an off spot for any additional cars that couldn't fit into the spotted location, which is what we picked up right here, was cars from the off spot. And then usually you want to keep one of these tracks, one of the yard tracks, actually open, so you can... oh, this might be a little This might be a problem. You know, keep one of these tracks open as a runner track because there's no other escape from the yard except for on this side for like a full-length train. So, I don't know. It gets a little confusing for sure. So, let's see. I'm a little concerned that both of these icons are showing right now. Because I don't think that they should be. Oops. I guess we're going to find out what happens here, because it should be... We are coupling to that. I'm just wondering why this is illuminated, too. It might be alright, though. I mean, I did a live stream with Surveyor 2, I don't know, like a year or two ago now. I should probably do another one to kind of give another overview now that I know more. I've seen some comments on that live stream that are like, oh, you said I don't know a lot. I'm like, yeah, at least I was honest. I didn't lie to you. If I didn't know something, I told you I didn't know what it was. But now I know a lot more about those tools that I didn't know about then. So I probably should do a fresh live stream. But there is, if you search through some previous live streams... yeah, see, this is... Why is this icon here? Ah, shoot, we're gonna get stuck on this objective, too. Let me write a note down here. Objective 2. 45 minutes into the live stream. So the thing is, if I try to fix this right now, we're going to have to like replay the entire session, but I kind of might be forced to do that. Let me see if I... Not sure what it wants me to do here. We might have to. This is why we're testing this session. Okay, so, all right, that was weird. So that is a little bug. I gotta fix that. Okay. All right, let's see. Head over to Atlantic Waste. Oh, okay, let's see. I got a typo there. Okay. So we're leaving these cars. We're supposed to leave these cars here, and now we got to go pick up the cars over at Atlantic Waste. Is that a Boston and Maine switcher? No, it is a New York Cross Harbor switcher. What's going on, The Rock? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where is Atlantic Waste? It's in here. So like I said, this is all a bit of a switching puzzle. By design, I guess. I didn't design it that way. That's just how it is in real life. I'll have to look up Heath Hurwitz. I'll have to look that up. Never heard of... Maybe I have, but... I'll have to check that out. It's probably the New York Central West... I forgot what it's called. The West Side Division or something. Human City Junction on YouTube. Okay, I'll check that out later. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have seen that. Seems familiar. Sounds familiar. Oh, that's cool. I think I have seen his videos, actually. It's sort of like a proto-freelance thing in HO scale, right? Pretty sure I've seen that. All right, so we got to pick up these cars, these box cars that are under here. Try to get a nice camera angle. Oh, it is an N scale. All right, maybe I didn't see that. There was an HO scale layout that I saw recently that sort of fit that description. My memory is like very fleeting with like names of things, so I probably knew it and then just lost it. Just didn't stick in my head. All right, catch you later, N scale guy. Enjoy. So I guess we'll see if we get through this whole session and I have a little bit of time afterwards. We'll take a look at where that code, you know, problem was, and we'll try to resolve that. Bruce Ryan's Manhattan Terminal. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know why when I click on the switch, then it attaches me to the train, but hey, you know what? We can follow it like this. That's fine. Actually, I gotta throw some switches. Or make sure that these are all properly aligned. There we go. Yeah, I would imagine that once this yard, I mean, it's pretty populated right now with cars. So, like, on a really, you know, busy day, busy period of time, it's got to get really tricky to, you know, perform switch maneuvers around here. You really have to think about how you're going to do-si-do cars. There's one DVD out there of the Cross Harbor that I have, and you could see them switching in the yard, and it pretty much was just what I described, like absolute chaos. The yard was stacked full of cars, and they're like moving cars out of the way so they can get into other areas. And the whole place is just filled with garbage because it's, you know, Brooklyn in the 1980s, at least in the video. And yeah, so it's it's very like classic, iconic, you know, urban decay, urban railroading sort of look. Big fan. Big fan. And yes, they did have to use the road as, or the street running sections as their yard lead. That was pretty common. So after this maneuver, we couple these up. We're going to have to switch out these cars here, which I have not done yet. I've run this part of this session a couple of times, like in high speed, just to make sure that, you know, things work. I haven't done the second half of this yet, so we'll see how long that's going to take. I think that after we switch these, that's the last bit of the session. I could be wrong, though. So I also don't know, like right now, I know what the moves are. I don't know what my maneuvers are going to be to make these switching moves. I know what cars need to go where, obviously, because I programmed the session, but I don't know what order to do them in, because I haven't done it yet. Okay, I need to make that be require stop. 54 mins. Four. Okay, all right, so there's a cut of cars on track 4 that need to be spotted at nearby businesses. You can spot the cars in any order you wish, but the destinations are as follows. Center beam goes to Plywood Specialties, the 4 hoppers go to Franklin Polymers, the tank goes to Safety Clean, the grain hopper goes to Bush Team. Okay. And like I said, I haven't done this yet, so I need to take a moment and plan my movements here. How many sessions? Only 2. 2 directed sessions. This is the second one. The first one is like an intro session, which you will unload the car float and then pick up a couple cars and deliver them just in various places on the route. I think it takes about an hour. And this one is much more advanced. Requires a lot more maneuvers. Obviously, you can see it's taken some time already. And that'll be it. And then after that, it'll be up to you to, you know, build your own sessions. But I am including a free play session, which will have cars already pre-populated on the route, so you can just switch as you wish. All the industries are interactive, so you can kind of switch them out as needed. Also, these sessions they don't end. Like, it's not gonna like force you back to the main menu or anything like that. Like, once the session is done, you could keep playing. So if you wanted to run the session and then save it and just keep running it until you ran out of things to do, you could do that too. All right, so I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spot the grain hopper. The grain hopper's got to go over here to the team track. I don't want to spot the tank. The tank is gonna go here, because I don't want to obstruct my movement. I have to go down to here, pick up this empty, and spot the center beam. So that'll probably be one of the last moves. Yeah, I don't know. We're figuring this out in real time. Also, this may be spoilers if you're... But, I mean, anybody... You could do this any way you want, but... I guess this is how I'm gonna choose to do it. So yeah, this first hopper here, this should probably be the easiest one to spot. And we might have to dosey-dose some cars a little bit. Do a little pre-blocking. It would make sense to spot the tank right now too, but we're gonna be... actually, we probably could. Right? Can we spot the tank? Because we're clear on this track. We could use track 1 as our runner. So yeah, maybe we'll spot the tank also. Lionel Train Town music? I'm not familiar with that. Maybe that's for the best. So I think, let's see, what's going to be the way to do this? I hope that this doesn't activate. That's what's going to happen. This is going to activate when I stop the engine on here. I'm willing to bet. Guess we'll find out. Again, I'm trying to make like a simple session here for people to play. If it's not like... Sessions are great, in my opinion, to kind of help you get acquainted with how things are supposed to operate, but, you know, I personally don't like this feeling like too much of a game, you know, like where you can fail, or you have to get points, or anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, it should just be fun, like operating a model railroad. For me, in my opinion, that's how I like to play it, so that's how I'm kind of presenting it here. So I wanted to keep the session somewhat structured, but also, you know, still enjoyable. And so far, I'm enjoying it. Like, this is cool. It's fun. This is why I like these kind of routes, like, you know, these switching maps, because they're switching puzzles. They're just, you kind of really have to think about how you're gonna maneuver things, and still got the throttle going. You know, what you're gonna put where and how you're gonna do it, and then there's lots of freight cars like all in one condensed area. I like that. I like a lot of movement. Yeah, I think this is gonna activate as soon as I stop on it. Oops, I didn't want to stop yet. There's nothing I could do about that either. Because I'm not doing like a consist check. Watch, it's going to update right now. See? You know, even though we're not dropping this car off here, it still did it. But I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it because this is how I'm switching it right now. Maybe other people aren't going to switch it this way. $15 miles an hour is fast for a yard. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't drive trains real life. I'm gonna crash. This is why I don't look at the chat. Oh, I'm so surprised that did not derail. Thank God there's still track. There's rail underneath there. Yeah, no, I don't know. I have no idea what the real speed limits are for these things. 15 miles an hour just felt like the right speed for me. And it just looks like it makes sense, so yeah, I don't know. I don't like going too slow. Then I get bored. So I don't know, 15 works pretty good, I think. I mean, I think I have it set to 10 and 5 on the street running, which I'm also not sure if it's accurate, because anytime I've seen them running on the street, they look like they're flying. Yes, it is also a skill issue. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not afraid to admit that I do this for fun, not to feel like I'm driving a real train. I always say this, like when it comes to like operating and stuff, I'm way more interested in like the logistics of things, like sorting the cars, moving them around, what goes where, blocking them, you know, than I am the actual like operating of the engine. Like that's fun and that's cool, but it's just sort of an ends to a, or a means to an end, you know what I mean? Like my grandfather, he was a conductor his whole life, and he loved doing the paperwork and keeping the cars organized and doing all that sort of stuff. So I think that that's just sort of like in my blood. Ah, you worked for Penn Central and Conrail. Awesome. Yeah, my grandfather, he same thing. I mean, he passed away last year, but I think he might have started with New York Central and then Penn Central and Conrail and CSX. The entire NYONW, huh? All right, let's leave these guys here. So I think the next move, these 3 hoppers, or these 4 hoppers actually, they go up to Franklin Polymers. So I think we'll just couple right to the back. We'll keep the center beam on here. And, or no, let's see. Franklin Polymers is down here. So that is going to be trailing point. So yeah, we got to get to the head end of this cut of cars. Not a problem. $541 miles. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate any like real world input because I don't have any background really in any of this other than just it's just pure hobby and art to me. And I like learning some of the technical stuff too. I like it to be as accurate as possible for people, you know, as best as I can, while still keeping it enjoyable, you know, like I always say I enjoy doing the operating sessions, but I don't want to feel like I should be earning a paycheck, you know, like it should still be fun and not feel like a job. Oh, come on, trains. I am far enough away. I hate when it does that. All right, so what did I say? We're going to couple to the head end. We're going to grab those. Nah, I don't have any desire to do a hump yard. ESCD84, he did the hump yard, the NS... forgot what it was. He did that really awesome hump yard, and that's not my expertise at all. He could have that. All right, so yeah, it seems like this whole operating session will probably take up to 90 minutes. We're coming up to an hour in the game. I know I've been streaming for a little over an hour, but we've been operating this for 56 minutes in game. So that's pretty promising. That's about the extent of my attention span sometimes with some of these some of these sessions. Like when I do a live stream, I usually try to go for about 2 hours. But like as far as like game time and like operating and running and stuff like that, I have maybe an hour, 90 minutes in me, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm good. All right, so we need to pull up onto First Avenue, and we are going to shove up to here. And I'm just preemptively throwing all the switches just because that's just how I do. And I know back in like 2007, 2008, when I used to bike to this area and they did still use this yard and operate out of this yard, I do remember them having like 4, maybe even 5 guys on the crew out there, like, you know, throwing switches and stopping traffic and stuff like that so the train could just keep moving, you know. So they had dudes at the front, at the back, and they knew exactly what they needed to do. Like, I never saw them switch any of these industries here, but as far as like pulling cars off the float and getting them in the yard and, you know, doing some other switches and stuff like that, switching maneuvers, they had a pretty good sized crew of dudes that were out there, brakemen and conductors and whatever. And by the way, all these cars that are used on here are from the download station, so they're not all the nicest. They were just the ones that will work. There's probably nicer cars that could be used on RR mods or jointed rail, but these are the DLS ones that I could find that work with the industries and look at least somewhat presentable. Hey, Scratchy, thanks, man. I'm gonna shoot this your way probably over the weekend, so you can have a little play. Like I said, I don't know if you'll find another route anywhere for this game that is quite like this. It is certainly a one of a kind. So where are we going? We're going up into here. Ah, you know, I don't know if I've switched this yet. I don't know if we have enough clearance. This is a good chance to see. I think this truck might need to move. Or it might be just close enough. Which would be pretty much par for the course. Yeah, yeah, this is exactly what it would be like in real life. So, yeah, that checks out. No, why does this bug still happen? Sometimes when you change camera views, the reverser switches on you. I don't know, it's very strange. TWA trains. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, and thank you. I also didn't measure to see if these 4 cars will fit in here. I'm kind of assuming that they will. Oh yeah, they'll fit in here. Okay, so it didn't... Interesting. We're supposed to also... Oh, because there's a car here already. So the center beam is supposed to go down here before this completes. So let me put that into my notes as well. Let's see, 113. Center beam needs updating. Okay, so I guess, well, yeah, we should do the move anyway. Oh yeah, the last thing is to spot the gondolas. I don't know if this is too long of a session, to be honest, for people. It's about an hour now. Oh yeah, the wheel squeal triggers. I forgot about those. Shoot. Let me put that in my notes too. Okay. All right, so the last couple of moves, we need to... I gotta think about this for a second. So if we go... This is going to be a facing point, right? Yeah, because we're gonna back in and then we pull forward. So in order to make this switch, we need that center beam on the head end. Okay. Will I ever make a tutorial for session building? I don't know if that would work in a video. There's so many different ways to make tutorial or to make sessions that I don't know if that would work. What I could do is like a live stream and sort of cover how I do it. It might be the way to do it, but yeah, I don't know about a video. A video for that would be kind of tough. Alright, so let's use this as a way to get around. Area looks nice in a dirty way, yeah. So for this railroad, the cars, inbound cars came in off of the barge right over here. There's an interchange at the south end of the yard down here. This is the Bay Ridge 65th Street yard. So this is where you would interchange with the LIRR, the Long Island Railroad, or the New York and Atlantic, or Conrail, depending on what era you choose to operate during. So those would be the two main interchange points. And then at the north end up here, this is an interchange with, well, I guess technically it would be up here, the South Brooklyn Railroad, but this didn't go anywhere, this, at least in the 80s. This really would just be to send, you know, subway cars up to the MTA facility up there, and that's about it. I didn't look at any of these turnouts to see what we're aligned to. Yeah, this is gonna be payware. Probably like 20 bucks, since you're gonna get the route, you're gonna get 3 engines with it, and you're gonna get 3 sessions. So yeah, I'd say it's worth 20 bucks. Oh, so now you see we're like trapped in here. Oh no, we're not. We got to go up to track 1. I should have just shoved through. So yeah, the escape out of here to get over to where this car is going. I forgot the name of this industry is Plywood Specialties, I think. We got to get back onto First Avenue here, but right now I was gonna go the route where this tank car is, but that's blocked. So we got to go all the way back down to the south end of the yard and then reverse through the whole yard. So that's what I'm saying about this being a switching puzzle is, you know, maybe we should have switched the center beam first instead of last. And I bet you I left this switch open too, didn't I? Yep. I'm really bad at closing the switches when I'm done. But it's really because I'm playing just for fun. Let's go to a different time of day just for the sake of it. There we go. Now, when I used to railfan, I can't even say I railfan, but when I used to bike to this area back like in 2007, 2008, I did see them switch out this industry. It was like one of the only industries left that was still receiving freight cars from the Cross Harbor at that time. You know, I probably would be better about, you know, normalizing the switches if I was playing with somebody else. You know what I mean? But because it's just me and I'm kind of just going back and forth and moving cars around, I don't know. I guess that just makes me not take it seriously. But yeah, if there were other people playing, I would definitely be a little bit more mindful of it. Which reminds me, it would be pretty cool to run this in multiplayer. I might have to talk to Paul about getting this into multiplayer because, you know, there's 3 engines. There's a lot of work that could be done, you know. Definitely could switch out the local industries here, unload the float, and, you know, run an interchange train all at the same time. If you really wanted it to be, like, busy, you know. And there's another switch at the end. I think it's probably this one. Yep. So I'm getting pretty good frame rate, you know, for a really densely populated route and also streaming at the same time. So that makes me hopeful that, you know, you guys will have a good experience with it as well. So let's see. If we're going to be going down here, we will want to switch this switch. I just realized that my camera is right over top of the thing there, so I'm gonna move it. I don't know why the bell on this is so low. I can barely hear it. I really don't love the horn on this either, to be honest, but I also don't know what to switch it to. Yeah, PC might have a hard time with this. I thought about doing a trains route in Chicago. I have not. The thing with me is that I am very influenced by... The projects that I want to do are usually ones that are from places that I've been to, or that I grew up, or that I've lived, or, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm very much an impressionist. Like, I want to recreate the things that I've seen and done. So I've never been to Chicago, so yeah, I can't say I've even ever thought about it. There is no more active traffic really anywhere in here. What they did in like 2012, they stretched this track down the road here and connected it. They ripped up this whole yard, but they reconnected this track down through here so that the curves wouldn't be so tight and they could avoid all this other stuff. This just got paved over here like a month ago, so this is all gone. None of these industries off to the left side here across First Avenue, none of them are active anymore. I think the yard is really just used for storage at this point. And that's about it, yeah. The only activity in this area, like, really is the 65th Street yard up here. They do all their car floating operation down there. They don't do it in Bush Terminal anymore. And, oh, was this switch thrown? Oh, shoot, okay. They only use this street running anymore. You've probably seen pictures and videos of it floating around. They use it pretty often right now for subway cars, for deliveries of new subway cars, and to get rid of the old subway cars too. These locomotives are S2s. The real life Cross Harbor did use S1s, but we don't have S1s. So S2s it is. Close enough. Now I hope we might not have enough room here. I haven't tested this yet, so this might be a problem. Or maybe we're gonna go right to the edge. We might go right to the end, yeah. That's cool, I like that though. I like that this is super tight. I haven't switched this yet. This is my first time doing any of this switching maneuvers through here, so this is cool. So I think since this empty triggered this as a delivery, the icon that was here, I might need to remove the empty from this part of the switching. It might just be, this might just be a delivery instead of a pickup and drop off. And I never named this switch either. I gotta write that down. Let me pause this. Switch name in plywood specialties. Okay. So also, this might be a good time to mention that if you want to get early access to the route, let's say you want to play it now, it is already available to patrons, only at the executive tier. That's the top tier. right now. And then if you are a Patreon, if you're a part of the Patreon, I will provide a discount once the route is released as well. So some benefits there if you're curious. If you wanted to help beta test this, you could join the executive tier Patreon, and you'd have access to the route right now. And I'll probably update that over the weekend, actually. It's not going to be today, and it's definitely not going to be tomorrow, so maybe Sunday or Monday. I'll definitely be updating the downloads, so it's the latest version of the route, and I'll also include the sessions. And again, I'll provide a coupon code for a discount for anybody who's a patron. And hopefully the route will be out in the next couple of weeks. I've got a very busy few weeks ahead of me, so I'm kind of, on the one hand, I'm trying to get the route out before things get very busy for me, but on the other hand, things are already very busy, so I don't know. And there's still a lot that I need to do for this. We're gonna put this center beam right now on the back of this cut of cars, and we're just gonna shove it forward. Ah, interesting. Switch speeds. Never thought about that. Oh, I didn't want to go down this track. All right, whatever. We're going to leave this here. I'm getting to the end of my... Oh, no, we can't. I'm getting to the end of my... I don't know what you would call it. Getting juiced. Getting spent. My run time is expiring. We're at 90 minutes, yeah. And we're... Oh, wow, we're almost at... Oh, and now I changed the time, so I didn't know how... I can't tell how long this is going to take to actually perform all this. Oh, well. I'm going to assume probably about 90 minutes to complete this whole session. Do I have ideas for future projects? Yeah, we're full of ideas. We've been discussing some ideas in the Patreon part of the Discord. And, yeah, I don't know yet. I want to finish this project before I really start thinking about what's next. Because what'll happen to me is that my brain will just get started on the next thing, and then it'll want to just be done with this, and I won't finish this. So I have to finish this before I can allot the brain capacity to whatever the next project is going to be. But I don't know. We've been spitballing some ideas. Maybe, I don't even know what some of the ideas are in the chat, to be honest. I haven't even reviewed them, but yeah, there's been some loose discussions, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Part of me would like to do something totally different, like either modern, like I wouldn't mind doing something like CSX or like Norfolk Southern CSX, Conrail, like more modern day sort of operations. And then there's part of me that wouldn't be against doing something along the lines of like totally different from what I normally do, like a West Coast route or something like that. But I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'm very, very much an impressionist, and I'm heavily influenced by places that I've been to and places that I've lived and that sort of thing. So it's sort of hard for me to get invested mentally in a main line or a route or something like that I don't have some kind of connection to. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. When the time comes, I will know. All right, so I think the last order of business is to pick up some of these empty gondolas and place them over here. And I think you get back to the session info. There's a cut of gondolas on track 5. Spot them at Cropsey Meadow. There's supposed to be another pop-up after that. Let me put that in there. Second pop-up. It's definitely gonna be an Aussie route. Yes, for sure. Nothing tickles me more than an Aussie route. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that I want to do on the P&B. Like I really want to update the P&B to HD terrain. I want to rebuild the steel mill there. Um, you know, there's a lot of stuff to do there, so I'm kind of partially going to get back into that, but that's not going to be a full-scale project because the route is done. It's just going to be lots of updates. But yeah, Pittsburgh steel would be pretty cool. Use some of those JMR steel assets. All right, so wait, I gotta focus here for a second because, again, this is also a puzzle because one of these is a shove and then the other one is a trailing point spur. This is a pain in the butt. So 3 gondolas can go here and 2 can go over here. So I guess I don't know the best way to do this. We'd have to, like, I don't know what the best way is to do this. We're gonna figure this out in real time, I guess. Spot the 3 and then run around the 2 and then do it that way. I don't know. Let's check our switches. More model railroads stuff. You know, the model railroads, I'm always tickled by the idea of doing it, and then I build one and I'm like, I don't want to do this. You know, it's just, it seems like such a good idea until I start to do it, and then I'm like, no, I'm not interested in doing this. There's other people like Nick Ozerak and Scratchy that are good at doing the model railroad stuff. I'll leave that to them, you know. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab all 5 of them. It's just that I have to. Come on, why does this keep happening? The reverser switches when I change cameras. It's been doing that for a while. Yeah, but I think I gotta run around him at some point. Turn this into a model railroad for lower NPCs. That's, yeah, that might be a possibility. All right, Mother Slug. Catch you later, man. Let's see, let me throw the switch here before I get too far. Before I get too invested in a camera angle. I've thought on doing Steam era route. Not really. A lot of people ask me about that. I'm really not interested in Steam. It doesn't do anything for me. I hate to say it. It seems like such a anti thing to say, but honestly, no, I'm not that interested in Steam. So it's never. I've had people like ask me if I should, or mention that I should do a certain route in the Steam era or something like that. I'm like, maybe, but it's not something that really interests me. So let's see. Yeah, these two need to go on this stub, so we got to run around these cars somewhere. That's probably, bet you why they had this crossover here, but we've got this whole cut of cars in the way. So yeah, I don't really know how to do that. So we're gonna cheat because I'm just getting to the end, hit my limit. I mean, I guess you could take these empties and spot them on the yard tracks and get them out of the way if you wanted to do that work. That's probably what you would do, because all these empties eventually are going to get loaded onto the barge, I would think, so they would have to go into the yard. I don't know. I really don't know how they had this, what their operational procedure was for such a thing. When they would collect, all the empties or the outbounds from all of these industries here, that's going to stack up a pretty sizable train right here, and then you got to, I guess, shove it back into the yard here, or yeah, you have to do that. You can't even load the barge from this track. So yeah, yep. I don't know. It's such a puzzle. All right, so we've got these two gondolas here. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost willing to bet that's why that they have this crossover in the middle. Was for, a midway run around or something like that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna reverse them. we're gonna stop them over here, and then I'm just gonna use Surveyor 2 to move them into place, because I'm not performing that move right now. Yeah, this route is. I didn't even throw that switch, did I? This route takes place in the 80s. I mean, you could say it takes place in the 90s as well, but based on the paint scheme on these engines, this is their phase 1 that number 21 is wearing. So that would have been 1984, 1985. Paint scheme changed in the 1990s to like a layer cake sort of style. The Brooklyn East District, on the other hand, I think they were running that little 040 switcher like right into the 1980s. So they were using Steam. They were like probably one of the last railroads using Steam. Or they probably were the last railroad in the United States using Steam. I'm pretty sure they were using that like into the 80s when they finally went out of business and were absorbed by the Cross Harbor. If only we could do like a railroader, you know, flying switch move. I'm actually not even sure if we could fit. Oh, this is a good chance to test this. Can we even fit these two engines with two gondolas in here? Because I also did not test this, so we're testing it right now. Yeah, that should be fine. Plenty of space. All right, so let's stop it here. Pull up a little bit, and then I'm going to use Surveyor 2 to just move those into place. Then when we go back into driver, this should update. Yep. Okay, that'll be all for now. Take the engines back to the shed. So this is the last part of the session, so that's what we will do. We are just flying around that switch. Yeah, so for you guys, when you go to operate this and play yourself, I don't know, however you decide to handle that, that's going to be up to you. Sydney, Australia has their own trains. Well, I mean, they're in Australia, right? They would have their own trains, I would think. So we'll tie down the engines, and then we'll pop into Surveyor really quick and just look at the session. And, oh man, my headphones are falling apart. Yeah, the very detailed engine house. Yes. Yeah, so we'll park the engines there. We'll go back into Surveyor 2 for a moment. We'll look at how I have the session set up, like the programming for it. And then we will maybe try to troubleshoot one of those things, and then that'll be it for this stream. And that will put me right at the 2-hour mark. Rio, what's going on, man? Day's going all right. Pretty good. Get tired. I'm ready to relax and chill out for the night and go to bed early. Exciting Friday night for Approach Medium. I'm going into the city tomorrow, so it's my wife's birthday. Well, yesterday was her birthday, so we're going into the city tomorrow to meet up with some friends. We want to get out there kind of early, so make sure we get up early, get to bed early. Yes, your DDA 40X, yes. I'm sure it'll handle these these turnouts just fine. The route is already available, like I said, for patrons in the executive tier. If you're a top tier patron, the route is available at the moment. And for all other patrons, you'll get a discount once the route is out. I'll probably open up the beta test to the next level patrons down. Maybe. I don't know. I got to think about that. It's always difficult for me to decide how to structure all this stuff because I don't want people to feel like they're getting ripped off. Yeah, we're going to take the train tomorrow morning since Jersey Transit is running again. We weren't sure what we were going to do if Jersey Transit wasn't running, but yeah, well, I live right at the train station, so it's easy. We just walk out the door like 1 minute before the train arrives and we're there. So yeah, if there's anything before I leave driver here, if there's any part of the route, I'll fly over the route, I guess, quickly. Just give you guys an overview, because that's part of this live stream is to promote the route a little bit, since it's gonna, you know, be out pretty soon. Give you guys a chance to see it. All right, so that's the end of the session. So I'll do a quick flyover over everything here. So let's change the time of day, actually. Let's go, let's see, what's a decent, I'm just trying to think for the stream itself. Yeah, that's fine. So you've got Bush Terminal Yard right here, which is along First Avenue. This is the main hub of operations that you'll be working out of. You got plenty of industries to switch around here. Most of these are active and in service. Some of them are not, but if you really wanted to, you could reactivate them if you want. Let's see, what membership do I need to choose to get this map? You would need to be in the executive tier, which is $50 a month, 50. So that they'll have, like I said, I'll update there's the download link available right now, but the sessions are not included with that. Sometime over the weekend, I'll update the download link with the latest version of the route and the sessions and everything else to go with it, and that'll be available to executive tier patrons. But again, like I said, if you're a lower tier patron, you'll get a discount code when the route is out to use towards the route. So down here at the south end of the yard is the Bay Ridge 65th Street yard. This is still active today. This is actually the main hub of operations in today's world. The float bridge here is not hooked up in my route because it did not become active until 2007. So the route takes place in 2010. If you want to operate the float bridge down here, you're going to have to do it yourself. But the main hub of operations is going to be at Bush Terminal. That is where the active float bridge is located. If we fly up, I'll just go pass over some of these neighborhoods here, so you guys can get a look. Like I said, I tried to match up the streets and the buildings that were on the streets pretty accurately as much as I could to the real thing. You know, so like the clumps of buildings and stuff like that, the clusters should match the real deal. I mean, it's US dollars. I'm based in the US. I don't know what PHP is. So, yep, and then we head north. We've got the junction here at 41st Street and 2nd Avenue. Like I said, maybe I should add some more details along here since this is kind of You've got Davidson Pipe here, which you'll be able to switch out. The South Brooklyn Railroad yard down here, which doesn't really see a whole lot of traffic, but you can certainly use it for however you like. Right here was known as Bush Junction. There was a lot of derailments on this junction here. We got a few active industries here. I think I only configured the industries for 2 of them. The other ones I'm making out of service. The Cross Harbor didn't really service these buildings. These were more earlier in the era. But again, that's something that you guys can do. I did detail everything in here. And up here, a lot of details on this route. And like a lot of, I don't want to spoil everything. A lot of things for you guys to fly around and discover for yourself. I think you'll enjoy it. I tried to add as much traffic to where, I could. Is it just for Trains Plus with the HDT? It does use HD terrain, but it should work fine in Trains 22. I did test it in the base version of Trains 22. The only thing is, I don't think you'll be able to modify the map since it uses HD terrain. It's like a read-only thing. So you'll be able to run it and operate on it, but you won't be able to go into Surveyor and manipulate anything, I don't think. I think that's locked. So yeah, it should work fine in Trains 22, the base version, Trains Plus Gold Plate, Trains Plus Standard. It should work fine. All right, so let's real quick exit out of this, and we will take a look at Surveyor, and then we're going to wrap this up. Edit session. Yeah, the route is not going to be $50. It's going to be $20. Yeah, N scale Train Boy is correct. All right, so we'll take a look really quick at the session, how I have it constructed. Oh, well, that's good, Rob. I'm glad to hear that. So the way that this session is constructed is basically just an ordered list. When you have an ordered list set up, however, whatever you nest inside that ordered list will happen in sequence, and the next section of that ordered list will not start until the previous one has been completed. So if you have like objective update, it'll mark this as done and move on to the next section. If you put a whole bunch of like message pop-ups in here, like I don't have it. Oh, like right here, they will just go not simultaneously. They'll go like one after the next. So it's really hard to explain how this works without like doing all the work. But like, I guess I'll show you like the first thing that happens in this ordered list is the cinematic camera move. So that's when you first load up the session, and it does that really nice big like sweeping camera move. As soon as that's completed, then it adds this objective. The first part of the objective that it adds is to pop up this message, which tells you what you're going to do. That's the message that pops up, tells you what you're supposed to do. Once you click that checkbox and you exit out of that, it creates a navigation display. And then within this is where all of the information for where to navigate to is contained. So the first bits of this were to couple the two engines together. So that's in this command here. Then the next one is coupled to the set of boxcars. Then once that's completed, coupled to this other cut of boxcars. And then once that's completed, you're going to drive to this location and decouple. And all of the other parameters are in here, like the icon that is going to be used, require stop or automatic or manual. Require stop means that the train has to stop for the objective to get completed, essentially. When you have these set up right now, this is all points must be completed in sequence, so these have to happen in order. You can't do them out of order. With this, the way that I have it set up here, you can set it to be all points must be completed, but in any order. I don't know what points will be completed in sequence, but can be skipped means exactly. So I see the chat's going off here. Let me look. Yeah, I answered a bunch of those questions already. Working on an abandoned location in my free time that's set in the countryside away from New York. Nice. That sounds cool. So yeah, I mean, this is just sort of a quick overview of what the session is. I did say, let's see, we'll see if we can troubleshoot this one thing. Objective 2 is stuck 45 minutes in live stream, yellow railbox. So what popped up for that? It was not this, it was the next objective. Because what happened was I had, remember if you were watching earlier, I had those two icons that were up at the same time, and I was like, oh, I can't, it's gonna screw these up. I had to like stop the, uncouple the car and then couple it and uncouple it again. I think it's because of this. Let's see, pick those up. Yeah, so I need to delete that. And that should solve that, and then I could save that. And then I guess the other thing I want to delete is this guy here, because the trigger for delivering a car is actually the what do you call this, track mark right here. So if there's something already placed on top of it, then it's going to trigger it, and that's not going to work. So that's that. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the stream. That's it. So let's see. It took about 2 hours to do that session. I mean, I was kind of farting around a little bit, so I'll have to put that in the parameters up here. I think I could say that goes into, maybe I didn't put it here. What is it called? I gotta look at what it's called in the other session. My brain is not working. Yeah, session creation is like it's like a whole thing. And everybody's got their own way of doing it too. I think there's multiple different ways to set up and build a session. What is it? Oh, session metadata. That's what I gotta add. Is this one? So we'll just add that quick and then that'll be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you're looking forward to the route coming out, and I hope you're going to pick it up once it's released in a couple of weeks. Let's see, edit session and add. Session metadata. And let's see, length. I'm gonna put 120. That's 2 hours. Difficulty. Hard? Not expert. Hard. Simulation. Okay. Yep. So that should do it. And then I'm gonna save this. And I'll have to work on troubleshooting the rest of that stuff when I have a little bit of time. Oh yeah, you'll enjoy the Hudson and Western then, and Scale Guy. If you get the Dry Brook route, the Dry Brook route is inspired by the Catskill Mountain branch, the Catskill Mountain Railroad. So I'm sure you're familiar with that too. All right, so I guess that's gonna do it. I'd say the session was pretty successful. I don't have to change a whole lot. It shouldn't take me too long to get it tweaked, and then I can start working on the promo stuff. And hopefully have this route out to you guys in the next couple weeks. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. If you'd like to help support the channel a little bit more, joining the Patreon is always a big help, but also, you know, getting my products, getting my routes and stuff is also helpful. Hit that like button, smash that like button, do whatever the other YouTubers tell you to do. It is greatly appreciated. Hope you guys have a great holiday weekend if you're from the States, and I'll see you guys soon.